Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. The only way to escape the corruptible effect of praise is to go on working. Weak people revenge, strong people forgive, intelligent people ignore. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existence. The hardest thing in the world to understand is income taxes. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. The only source of knowledge is experience. Logic will get you from A to Z. Imagination will get you everywhere. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. Never memorize something that you can look up. The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. The more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. You never fail until you stop trying. A ship is always safe at the shore, but that is not what it is built for. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. We still do not know 1/1000th of 1% of what nature has revealed to us. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit, and a violin. What else does a man need to be happy? Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks should be. A human being is a part of the whole called by us universe. The only real valuable thing is intuition. Technological progress is like an axe in the hands of a pathological criminal. When the solution is simple, God is answering. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. I am thankful for all of those who said no to me. It's because of them I'm doing it myself. Not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. The only thing more dangerous than ignorance is arrogance. Do not worry about your difficulties in mathematics. I can assure you mine are still greater. The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. It is not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer. It's not that I am so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle, requires creative imagination and marks real advance in science. The true value of a human being is determined primarily by the measure and the sense in which they have obtained liberation from the self. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. Time is an illusion. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves. I never think of the future. It comes soon enough. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. The distinction between the past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. The whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking. If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. Joy in looking and comprehending is nature's most beautiful gift. The most powerful force in the universe is compound interest. The high destiny of the individual is to serve rather than to rule. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war. Nature shows us only the tail of the lion, but I do not doubt that the lion belongs to it, even though he cannot at once reveal himself because of his enormous size. The only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of the library. The true measure of intelligence is the ability to change. The environment is everything that isn't me. The release of atomic energy has not created a new problem. It has merely made more urgent the necessity of solving an existing one. The difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits. The process of scientific discovery is, in effect, a continual flight from wonder. The faster you go, the shorter you are. A happy man is too satisfied with the present to dwell too much on the future. The eternal mystery of the world is its comprehensibility. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. Nothing truly valuable arises from ambition or from a mere sense of duty. It stems rather from love and devotion towards men and towards objective things. There comes a time when the mind takes a higher plane of knowledge but can never prove how it got there. The value of achievement lies in the achieving. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Everything must be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. All religions, arts, and sciences are branches of the same tree. The human spirit must prevail over technology. Concern for man and his fate must always form the chief interest of all technical endeavors. The hardest thing to understand in the world is the income tax. The gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge. Without deep reflection, one knows from daily life that one exists for other people. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. You can't blame gravity for falling in love. Only those who attempt the absurd can achieve the impossible. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. One of the strongest motives that lead men to art and science is escape from everyday life. The significant problems we have cannot be solved at the same level of thinking with which we created them. Reading, after a certain age, diverts the mind too much from its creative pursuits. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. The years of anxious searching in the dark, with their intense longing, their intense alternations of confidence and exhaustion, and the final emergence into the light, only those who have experienced it can understand it. I never teach my pupils. I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn. Sometimes one pays most for the things one gets for nothing. I believe that a simple and unassuming manner of life is best for everyone, best for both the body and the mind. There is no logical way to the discovery of elemental laws. There is only the way of intuition, which is helped by a feeling for the order lying behind the appearance. The secret to creativity is knowing how to hide your sources. The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious, the fundamental emotion which stands at the cradle of true art and true science. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. I believe in intuition and inspiration. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. The value of a man resides in what he gives and not in what he is capable of receiving. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it.